Now De Bruyne!
What can this guy not do?
It's Kevin De Bruyne.
Kevin De Bruyne has won it all domestically. He has made the list as one of the greatest ever midfielders to grace the Premier League. Brought in by Manuel Pellegrini, he was deemed as a flop at Chelsea. But boy, the Premier League was in for a surprise, as the reinvigorated De Bruyne has consistently been one of the best players in the world ever since joining Manchester City. Despite winning all domestically with Manchester City, has De Bruyne got some limitations in his game that have seen him get shunned for a Ballon d'Or title? We think not, because the numbers that De Bruyne has put in and week out for the last decade are unreal, and not many, if any, midfielders around the world can get anywhere close to the Belgian Maestro. Kevin De Bruyne has been one of the greatest midfielders of our times, yet questions arise about whether he can do it in the big games. City won the Champions League after De Bruyne went off injured, while in another Champions League final he got bested by Chelsea's midfield, and he is also a part of Belgium's golden generation that has failed to deliver. Despite all this, Kevin De Bruyne has been key at whatever Belgium or Man City do on the pitch. Without him, none of the two teams would see the success that they have seen in the last decade, and that remains an undeniable fact. The journey into the intriguing career of Kevin De Bruyne, his prowess to clinch the Ballon d'Or one day, and the performance statistics reveal the indisputable fact that he is the most alpha player on the field of play. Witness as we fold through the cover of his story, from the streets of Belgium to the fields of European football. It was very clear from an early age that De Bruyne could become the greatest Belgian player of all time. His early years were characterised by the constant drive for perfection, where he sharpened his abilities on local fields before dipping into professional football. A fairy tale success story of the youngster sees him rise through the ranks, starting at his hometown club to the powerhouse of English giants Manchester City, and he is now recognised as the prime reason for Manchester City's recent success. The early phase of his career was dedicated to prepping himself for the big arena, where his intelligent game reading and pinpoint passing aptitude earned recognition from top European club scouts. So immense was his talent that he represented two of the most prestigious clubs in Belgium at an early age. De Bruyne joined Ghent as an academy player and then moved to Belgian giants Genk to begin his professional career. In 2012, De Bruyne joined Chelsea, which was a huge step for him and, in hindsight, a move that came a bit too early both for Chelsea and KDB. The occasional flashes of talent were always there. However, he never found consistency and was loaned out first to Werder Bremen and then to Wolfsburg. He faced many challenges during his time at Chelsea. Nevertheless, adversity just drove De Bruyne's spirit to assert his place on this grand stage. De Bruyne finally managed to cement his place at Wolfsburg, where he made his move permanent. He found the perfect environment to hone his talent and progress. De Bruyne's fine and consistent performances, especially against Bundesliga giants Bayern Munich and Borussia Dortmund, saw his stock rise exponentially. After 2 years at Wolfsburg, Manchester City came calling, and it was the perfect move for the Belgian magician, as he was finally ready to perform on the big stage. Coming to Manchester City in 2015 was that stitch that glued his reputation as one of the best midfield players around the globe. It was under the leadership of manager Pep Guardiola that De Bruyne found his mojo, as he morphed into the creative force driving City's relentless offense. KDB's partnership with fellow little magician David Silva was legendary. On song, both players were untouchable, and their partnership became a juggernaut that kept breaking every defensive door of Premier League teams. It rained titles and trophies for Manchester City because of their influence. However, this significance goes beyond club football. He is the soul of the Belgian national team. A golden generation where De Bruyne is one of the key members, has led to Belgium's return to the world stage. With De Bruyne at the helm, the team has performed honourably in every major tournament. On the pitch, his humble nature and work ethic earned De Bruyne the respect of the fans, and also of his teammates. Despite his superstar status, he retains his humility, crediting both his hard work and the effort he put in as a reason for his success in his professional career. He dedicates himself to philanthropy as well as projects to provide poor children with a chance to succeed. These attributes make him a role model both on and off the field. The footballing stardom of Kevin De Bruyne is marked by a chain of moments that have very well determined the course of his career. From the youth academies of Genk and Chelsea to his emergence in Wolfsburg and subsequent prowess in Manchester City, this has been the ultimate ascent of De Bruyne. Off the field, De Bruyne is also liked for his leadership capabilities and second to none professionalism. Even though he has conquered the summit of the footballing community, he continues developing perfectionism. The professionalism and dedication he shows on the field have an immeasurable impact on footballers worldwide. Nevertheless, despite all the admiration, his influence and his contributions to the game, questions remain about his ability to excel in high-pressure moments. Incidents such as his injury during the UCL final and Belgium's failure to win big on the international stage has given more life to the debate on his legacy. Kevin De Bruyne's footballing story shows that there is so much power in perseverance. His talent and unrelenting determination took him to the pinnacle of club football. From small beginnings in Belgium to becoming a worldwide phenomenon, Kevin De Bruyne will retire as one of the greatest midfielders to ever grace the game of football. As one goes down to the very heart of what KDB brings to the table, it becomes clear that the numbers are just a superficial manifestation of the role he plays on the pitch. Though the Ballon d'Or title has eluded him, De Bruyne's influence on the field is superior to anyone else's. The creativity he brings to the team is second to none. Real Madrid legend Guti springs to mind when you think of how De Bruyne creates opportunities for his teammates. De Bruyne provides something truly unique to the City attack. The very core of his style of play brings in an exceptional vision and interprets with surgical precision even the most robust defence structures. The fact that he manages to consistently spot the gaps, beat off tackles, and thread end-to-end passes from deep-lying positions places him on a pedestal as a truly gifted midfielder. And De Bruyne is not just a creator. His goal-scoring prowess is as lethal as his passing. His thunderous strikes from outside the box, added by the fact that he loves to be at the right place at the right time, have seen him score vital goals that came at the right moment, whether long-distance screamers or delicately set ones. De Bruyne's ability to score in diverse ways adds lethal quality to his already outstanding overall game. The second point that should be grasped is the fact that his offensive skills are not the only cause of his special style of play, but rather, he can also play as a deep-lying playmaker who can shield the back four. De Bruyne has proved himself very essential in maintaining defensive shape, while also aiding counter-attacks and initiating quick attacks from deep positions. A top 10 best assist list for this generational talent will do his talents no justice. You'll need a top 50 assists list for some of the best passes that only players like him can provide. To sum up, Kevin De Bruyne's footballing journey is an example that, combined with natural talent, determination and hard work, you can reach the pinnacle of football. The Ballon d'Or may serve as a reference for individual performances, but the legacy of De Bruyne is beyond individual awards. Through his gorgeous plays on the pitch, his ability to lift those around him, and his absolute love for the game, he comes across as a real footballing maestro and a player whose achievements will be celebrated for generations. We can see that De Bruyne's story is not a story just about trophies or individual honours, but also about the deep mark he will leave on the game of football that will always be why we remember him. Let us now look back at his amazing development from a hometown hero to a global star. De Bruyne was destined for greatness from day one. The path was rosy from day one, and he made a lot of wrong decisions career-wise in his early days. But ultimately, through his dogged determination and natural talents, he made it to the top of the game. With his excellent in-game management, he outclassed all players on the field. His remarkable voyage from a poverty-stricken youngster in Belgium to the peak of Europe's Premier Football ranks is preserved in the annals of football history. You never know what the future holds, but one thing we all know. Until Kevin De Bruyne is leading that Manchester City side, expect them to average at least a couple of trophies every season till he retires. At the end of the day, Kevin De Bruyne will be compared with Gerrard, Lampard and Scholes. There is no bigger compliment for his legendary career